This was very interesting to me. So this morning, Cassie was shown a text message where she was expressing to Diddy that she didn't want to participate in a freak off because that's all they do. And she told Diddy to contact Kim or something. Y'all, this behavior by Diddy appears to date back way far than before Cassie. Y'all grab your tea and have a seat. Let's talk about it. So the trial began this morning with Cassie retaking the stand and being questioned by the prosecution. Now, Diddy's defense team did try to have Cassie seated before the jury entered the room. However, the judge overruled that. As we all know, Cassie is 8.5 months pregnant, so they're likely trying to not have Cassie get any sympathy because she's pregnant. Now, the video of the hotel incident that we all saw, they showed it again to the jury, and they picked right back up speaking about that video and the aftermath of it. Cassie testified that Diddy had taken her phone and some of her belongings. However, she was able to leave the hotel after security came up. She got into an Uber in which Diddy began texting her saying that he was being arrested. However, it doesn't appear that he was actually being arrested. The text messages between the two that were shown to the jury said, Diddy saying, "Call me. Yo, please call me. I got 6 kids. Please call me. Yo, please call me. I'm surrounded. Call me for my kids' help." She told him to put on a robe and that the escort had left the hotel and that if he stayed quiet, they shouldn't be bothering him anymore. She did not call him. She told him that she was turning over and going back to sleep, but she did send him a photo of her fat lip and that she was wearing sunglasses because she had a black eye underneath. The text message said, and I quote, "I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done. Please stay far away from me." Cassie says she got back to her apartment where her friend was there. Her friend was very upset because she had a black eye and busted lips. So her friend called the police. She said when the police arrived, she answered a couple of questions, but they wanted her to say who had done that to her, and she would not, so they left. She was asked why she didn't want to identify Diddy. She said, "Just in that moment, I didn't want to hurt him that way. It was just too much going on, and I wasn't ready." Apparently, later that day, Diddy came over to her apartment and was banging on the door. One of his assistants also reached out to her and was trying to get inside the apartment. She said the behavior was normal for him to be banging outside of the door trying to get in. However, I guess he didn't have a key that time. The jury was shown photos of Cassie at the event, and right before the event, she was wearing a gown with black glasses, and she said that that was to hide her black eye. She had bruises on her body that weren't completely covered in makeup, and she had quite a bit of makeup on her face. The jury saw a photo of her and Combs at the event, and some of the injuries on her body were still visible in the photo despite the makeup. Cassie was then showed a binder with more than a dozen photos of escorts that she and Diddy had hired for the freak-offs over the years in different cities. She said she typically reached out to the escorts and arranged the freak-offs because it was her job, and when it was time to pay, Diddy would come up with the money. They went through the binder. Some of them she knew by name or names that they called the escorts or whatnot. There was then some more testimony regarding the actual acts during the F-offs. She said that she would not kiss the escorts because she became squeamish. She said she didn't want to get too intimate because kissing is a sign of intimacy. However, Diddy would order her to kiss because he wanted to see it. She also talked about the various UTIs that she would suffer, saying that she would get them all the time and still have to participate in freak-offs. She said that she would be given antibacterials, and after some time they would not work. She also communicated with Diddy about having some sores in her mouth and on her tongue, and saying that she had another UTI. Some text messages were shown between the two, and Diddy basically told her to go to the doctor. She talked about her 29th birthday. Diddy apparently interrupted it because he wanted to have a freak off. She just wanted to hang out with her friends, but they ended up doing the freak off as Diddy wanted. There was a lot of text messages shown to the jury, some where she was asking Diddy to delete videos where he claimed he deleted them. However, she would later see them. She also testified that Diddy wanted her to go to actual clubs so she could participate in activity with him as well as an escort. She said she was uncomfortable with that. She said she would be made to go and she would drink alcohol and take things to disassociate herself from it. She said that there were a few times when Diddy did not want her to be under the influence of any things that'll take you higher than Georgia Pine, because he wanted the freak offs to be authentic. She also testified about an incident where Diddy allegedly kicked her off of his boat at the Cannes Film Festival because he thought that she had stolen some things that'll take you higher than a Georgia Pine from him. Her things were still on the boat, including her passport, so she had to walk over to the hotel and spend the night in somebody's room. All right, so that was this morning. They are coming back from lunch break right now. I'll give you guys an update after court concludes today. His daughters are not in the courtroom today. According to reporting, they are traveling for prom, so they are not in the courtroom, but his sons are present. And he's been seen, you know, communicating with them as well as his attorneys and listening very intently to Cassie's testimony. All right, players, y'all, put your thoughts in the comments. This is Double D Mo for the Black Accurate News.